So I've just got Councillor Walker and Councillor
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Councillor Casey.
You asked for me to quote the standing order as necessary. I'll quote it now. It's Standing Order 314.4, and it says misrepresentation of any statement made by a member or by an officer or employee of the Auckland Council. The Chair said that this council cannot direct ECIL to do something, and I sought legal advice on that position, and I still haven't had it. So that's the standing order. Can I have that legal advice now?
Is anything correct?
Councillor, our legal counsel gave us that legal advice.
Didn't he talk about the Ports of Auckland?
No.
I'm talking about ACIL, a council-controlled organisation.
He said both.
I appear to be at a completely different meeting, Councillor. It was very clear that we have neither the ability to instruct our port company, nor do ACIL have the ability to instruct the port company, and we've done exactly what's available to us. We have sent the letter requiring ACIL to seek clarification on a number of issues from the port company. So there is nothing more we can add to that legal advice.
The issue is you are saying we cannot direct, this council cannot direct a council-controlled organisation. And I'm saying we can.
And we are directing ACIL to work through the issues
So
in
it's a
the
yes.
letter. We can direct ACIL to work these issues through with the Ports of Auckland, but we cannot instruct ACIL to fire the port company directors, if that's what you're
Thank
getting
you
at,
for that
which is the issue
clarification.
raised
So this
before.
council can actually direct a council-controlled organisation.
court.
Thank you very much.
As you can
Court's not
see
a
in the
CCO.
letter,
It's
it's very
request
clear.
is the word here.
Request is the word in the letter, not direct.
Wow.
And we're into semantics now, Councillor. Councillor Walker.
Sure, it's a question, and it's somewhat related to the issue that Councillor Casey just raised, and that is, can the council, which is the 100% shareholder of ACIL, replace the directors of ACIL?
CCO reviews you.
And I'll just wait.
Sorry, Councillor, I was just distracted for a moment, trying to sort something
Absolutely
out.
fine. Are you okay now?
I am.
Okay, all good.
I'm
So
all good.
my question is, can the council, which is the 100% shareholder of ACIL, replace the directors of
So, Councillor, no, this is
ACIL.
not, we are
And-
now, no.
and further to
Councillor,
that-
Point of order,
I am,
Madam
we
Chair,
don't need a
speaking to
point of order. I'm
relevance.
actually just going to chair this. Councillor, this is about the long-term study on the port. At the Council-controlled organisation committee is where we will discuss, receive, implement, debate, question the response that we get back from ACIL. This is not on the table for today. We are guessing. So
Well,
I'm
then,
going to move on.
can I
So,
just
Councillor,
ask
this
that
is
it be
not-
on the table for the CCO review meeting?
It is.
Okay,
I will
great.
say it again.
Thank you.
Please come to the CCO committee meeting where we will discuss whatever response we get from ACIL. You are all invited. Councillor Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can I just, and I suppose speaking to that, and I think the relationship with the port is best dealt with at that committee, Madam Chair, not in the study. So I hope that isn't been taken any heed of.
No.
Thank you. Just in terms of going back to C, would you be willing to add after matters arising from the study within its legal powers?
I mean, I think that's taken as a given, but
I
if it
know,
adds
Madam Chair,
comfort,
but given
we-
the history of the kinds of things that are happening lately, it seems that no one cares about the law very much, and I'd like to make sure that
hang on.
that is...
I think
it
I
is
think we
not-
do. We're all just getting a little bit tired of the discussion.
Well, I'll rephrase that we have, putting aside sometimes our concerns about operating
I hear
in
you.
our legal parameters, Madam Chair. I apologise.
I hear you. Councillor Watson.
So I'm just waiting for the general discussion, Madam Chair. We are at
Okay,
that stage.
but this was just questions. Councillor Fletcher, last question to you, and then we'll move on to the debate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is to
So is it
you,
going in
and
or
whether
not?
you would entertain, I've sent through to Democracy Services the words, the objectives of the Hauraki Golf Marine Park Act 2001. So that would, if you can just scroll down so I can point out to councillors where I'd like to see that incorporated.
I see the issue, councillor. We're now, what's starting to happen is exactly what I was worried about. We're adding in and.
But that is actually a law, Madam Chair.
Councillor,
Pretty
I would
fundamental.
imagine that we have a whole raft of legislation that is going to be relevant to this, and that's what will come back to us, including the issues that are raised by our much wider stakeholder group. We are trying to add everything in here, but I'll just ask Dr Blakely to comment.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. As you say, as Councillor Fletcher says, this is the law, and it will be an obligation to comply with the Hauraki Gulf Marine Park Act. But I suggest it's not necessary to put everything into this resolution here, but it will be, I expect, will be included in the terms of reference which come back for your agreement.
Madam Chair, I believe in terms of the question I posed to Jacques, which is some of the difficulty around what the considerations are in an environmental sense, it is actually important to specify that. We know that the Rangitoto Channel is only 12.5 metres. There are a whole range of factors, there are a whole range of environmental issues I would like to raise, and it would give me some comfort to know that we are willing to bring the objectives of the Hauraki Gulf Marine Park Act into consideration. I don't think that is an unreasonable request, Madam Chair, and I'm trying to be collaborative.
No, it's not an unreasonable request, councillor, but it is taken as a given. All the acts that are relevant to this piece of Auckland will apply, and my worry is once we name one, do we then name them all?
Madam Chair, this is a unique piece of legislation, and you will recall...
Why don't we then solve this by saying the Hauraki Gulf Marine Park Act
2001
and others.
and others. Thank you very much.
So we are at the risk of kind of
My second question
expanding out.
is through you to Jacques. Jacques, in terms of this issue of the 12.5 metre limitation that we've got with the channel, where do you see this issue being dealt with in terms of the words that we've got there at the moment? I don't want to pin you down in terms of adding more words on that. Can you just talk through, because you must have given consideration to that, and I'm sure the Mayor's given consideration to that, where I wasn't party to the discussions yesterday, so where do you think that is, in the wording that we have got up on the screen at the moment, where do you think that issue is going to be properly addressed?
Through Madam Chair, it may or may not be there. I take that on board, and I will make sure that we address that issue in the scope that comes back to you. A number of things have been raised throughout the discussion now that there are not particularly words for that there.
Yeah.
So I take that on board. I will bring it back to you.
Thank you.
Good. Right. Now we have the recommendations moved and seconded. I think we've pretty much picked up everything that is needed. Yep. So we'll start off speaking to the recommendations. Councillor Darby, Councillor Watson, Councillor Casey, and we are going to, anyone else on the list? Councillor Wood, speaking to the motion, and we're going to keep it succinct because remember we're just starting a process here. Councillor Darby.